3 in the morning, a rocking chair moved in the basement of a house that wasn't mine. It creaked in a rhythm that didn't belong to the pipes, didn't belong to the fridge, didn't belong to anything that breathes. It was the kind of sound that decides what you believe. Rewind 7 hours. New Year's Eve, and my friend Marcus Vale had the big empty house while his parents were at the coast, the kind of place that photographs well and echoes when you laugh. I came with Jade and Theo and a paper bag full of bad decisions. The living room filled with people who had promises to break and songs to shout. Midnight did its trick. We kissed the air, texted people we miss better at a distance, and watched the cheap fireworks ripple over the cul-de-sac. By 1:30, the strangers had become a blanket of coats on the couch and then the door. By 2, the house was just ours again, me, Marcus, and Theo, with Jade asleep sideways in an armchair like a person the night had decided to keep. We put the bottles in a line by height as if that made us organized. The speakers dimmed to a heartbeat we could talk over. The first noise we blamed on the fridge, a long wooden sigh from somewhere under our feet. The second we blamed on the heat turning itself on for the year. A click, then a groan, then a short hush. At the third, Marcus looked at the hallway that leads to the basement door and said, "That's the chair." "What chair?" Theo asked, because brand new fears are the easiest to say out loud. "The old one," Marcus said. "It was my grandma's. My mom kept it after she died. She says it's sentimental. I say it's a reason to shut a door." A fourth creak. No pipes were that voice. It came from below us, a measure, then a rest, then 2 measures, like something was testing time. "You have a rocking chair in your basement?" I asked. "Yeah," Marcus said, "and no one sits in it." We were too awake not to go see. We were also too awake to go see alone. We did the thing you do when fear is an object. We grabbed knives, because knives are objects too, and humans like symmetry. We didn't need them. We took them anyway. The basement steps were the steep kind that want you to learn gravity personally. The light switch at the top clicked something into focus that didn't look better in brightness. The floor was concrete, half covered by a rug that remembered other rooms. Against the far wall, a bar we were not old enough to miss. A table with a board game still set up from a year when people had more patience. And in the near corner, facing nothing and everything, the rocking chair. It was not moving when we looked at it. Of course it wasn't. That would have been too easy, too clean. It was a simple thing, wood darkened by hands and time, runners worn smooth at both ends, a cushion someone loved once. You could sit in it and read a book and forget the world. You could also let it sit empty and remember things you didn't want. Theo breathed like someone who just realized he forgot to. "Maybe it's the vent," he said, pointing to a register along the ceiling that exhaled not at all. The air didn't move. The room didn't move. The chair didn't move. We waited. Waiting is the first science. The chair moved. Not much, just enough. A forward, a back, a pause, a forward again. The creak was a shape more than a sound, the way a door in an old movie tells you someone you love will leave. The 3 of us did what brave people do. We didn't run. We stood and let our faces confess. "Wind," Theo said softly, as if the word could land without causing more weather. "There's no wind," Marcus said. I stepped closer because some part of me hated believing without measuring. Heat likes edges, cold likes corners. Whatever this was, liked us watching. The chair slowed, then stopped, then made one more small rock as if the room had a heartbeat, and we finally timed ours to it. "Okay," I said, which is a polite word for no. "We saw it. We can go upstairs now." Going upstairs should have solved it. It didn't. We closed the basement door the way you close a book you didn't finish. We turned on the kitchen light because light is how you tell the dark not to get ideas. We put the knives in the sink like that meant we had grown up. We were halfway through convincing each other that wood settles and gravity has hobbies when the creak came again through the door, through the hall, through our teeth. This time Marcus didn't say a word. He went back down the stairs with the serious walk of someone who has decided to know. I followed because leaving a friend with a sentence on a staircase is a story I never want. Theo came because he's Theo, and that's the whole reason. The chair was still, half a foot to the left. Was it there? I asked. The carpet had a groove from years of staying. The groove was not under the runner anymore. Do you keep moving it? Theo asked Marcus. Why would I move it? Marcus said, and didn't put a question mark on the sentence. You could be pranking us. I could be, Marcus said. But then I'd have to be pranking myself from when I was 9. Something in the room shifted that did not belong to the chair. It was the temperature, one corner warming like a breath, another cooling like a thought. The kind of difference that tells your skin there are two rooms arguing. At the exact moment I noticed the cold, the light over the bar flickered, once, twice, then quiet. I'm not interested, I said to the air, because sometimes the bravest thing is impolite. Jade called down the stairs then, voice rough with sleep and annoyance. Can you not haunt the house until morning? Come see, Theo said, and as if summoned by the promise of not being left out, Jade shuffled down the steps in socks, wrapped in a blanket like a reluctant ghost. Why is this a thing? She asked the chair, which is a better question than what. The chair did not answer. It rocked once. Jade blinked, then said, Okay. She sat. The chair stopped. She frowned at us like we had lied. It's a chair, she announced the way judges announce verdicts, and we're tired. She stood up, and the cushions slowly refilled with air. The chair rocked. We all stepped back, because that's what bodies do when the math goes wrong. The motion wasn't angry. It was steady, like someone trying to count to a number they used to reach easily. The light over the bar flickered again and stayed on as if the room had decided to host us properly. Marcus's voice threaded the space without shaking. Grandma used to knit here, he said. When we moved to this house, she hated the carpet. She said the chair didn't like it. My mom laughs about that. Sometimes when she does laundry, she finds a little bit of yarn under the furnace grill. Why didn't you tell us that earlier? Theo asked, and Marcus shrugged with a face that said, because now I had to. Okay, Jade said, and her voice had become the kind of practical that saves lives in small, boring ways. Here's the ritual. We're going to move it to the groove. We're going to say thank you. We're going to go to sleep. In the morning, we'll agree it was the vent. It's not the vent, Marcus said, but he helped anyway. We dragged the chair half a foot to the right, into the old rut the runners had learned over years of rocking someone else. The wood sounded tired, then less tired. The chair rocked once, small as a knot. Then it stopped. We didn't clap. We didn't say a prayer. We did something that felt like both. Thank you, Jade said, and the three of us repeated it, which is a ritual if you do it slowly enough. Upstairs, we didn't talk like heroes. We were kids in a house that remembered more than we do. We put the knives back in their drawer like responsible people. We let the kitchen light stay on. We put a glass of water on the basement threshold, and Jade tucked a length of blue yarn under it because sometimes symbolic is practical in a language you don't know. At 3:15, the creak did not come again. The house exhaled. We slept badly and woke up carefully. Morning is a cruel lie detector. The basement was exactly as we left it. The chair sat in its groove like a bookmark finally returned to the right page. On the bar top, where none of us had been, a single blue thread lay in a neat circle like a tiny wreath. Laundry lint, Theo said, and no one corrected him. Marcus's mom called at 10 to ask who cleaned as if guilt were a chore. Marcus said we did and left out the part where the house helped. We made eggs we didn't finish and promises we wouldn't keep, and a decision I think made the difference between a creepy story and a kind one. We took the chair upstairs. It wasn't a big production. 3 kids, 4 hands, a path that barely bent. We put it by the front window that watches the street like a television. The light hit the wood in a way that made the scratches make sense. We didn't sit in it. We didn't dare. We set it gently, and the runners learned a new floor. At midnight next year, we'll be somewhere else, because that's how we treat time. The house will be here, and the chair will be where the light finds it, and somewhere in the laundry, a bit of blue thread will get caught on the grill and wait its turn to be noticed. If you ask me what happened, I'll say this: nothing touched us, and something moved. We were not haunted, we were hosted. A piece of furniture asked to be placed where it knew how to rest. We listened just enough to qualify as decent. And I think sometimes that's what the world wants from us at 3 in the morning. To put things back in their groove, say thank you, and go to sleep.